The Alchemized Career Align Power with Purpose and Legacy Masterclass. How to transform your soul crushing career and rediscover your professional purpose and passion while creating a legacy in just 60 days without sacrificing your status or income, even if you feel trapped by the golden shackles of your seeming success. Let me tell you who this is for so that you know whether you're at the right place. This is for high achieving professionals feeling trapped by the golden shackles of a successful career, leaving them feeling drained and empty. If you feel the urge to live with more fulfillment and want to discover your authentic purpose in under 60 days, even if you're afraid of making any kind of change, this is for you. If you would rather live joyous life with authentic purpose without losing status or financial achievements, then this is for you. If you feel suffocated, unfulfilled, and lost in your high paying career, this presentation is dedicated to you. In the next 40 minutes, learn how to discover your authentic professional purpose in under 60 days without having to quit your career or sacrificing your financial security. Yeah, you can exit your career if you want to, but you definitely don't have to. Identify the real reasons you're feeling stuck in your career and what you can do to start turning things around today, even if you think it's too late. Understand why just following your passion is the absolute worst advice somebody can give you to find fulfilling work and a radical new approach that works 10 times faster. I'll pinpoint precisely how you can shift from just power to power with purpose, even if that seems like a total mystery to you right now. How you can go from feeling powerless in your circumstances to being the co creator of your career and your life while being excited each day and nurturing all your working and private relationships. And I'll show you how to do all this without sacrificing your financial security, social status, or peace of mind. My promise to you, a step by step strategy for reclaiming your professional purpose and passion and designing a career you love in 60 days or less. You're here because you feel there should be more fulfillment in life, more joy, more meaning. And I say to you, you're here because you have forgotten something essential that was given to you very long ago, and we're here to uncover it. I'm Claudia Granger, and we're here to truly align your soul given gifts and purpose with your career, and then look into your legacy, which might be beyond your wildest dreams right now. But before we go into the naked facts, let's go into a story, and for that, I ask you to close your eyes for a moment. Envision yourself as a baby. You came here with very unique gifts. You were given a lot of gold. See it as gold bars. While you were small, your parents were guarding your gold, and they might have done a good job. Then you became a youngster, and you became aware that there was gold given to you, and you might have tried out one or the other bar of gold in your life. But depending on how it was received, you might have rather hid it and stored it somewhere safe to fit in. Or your parents even hid it for you, thinking you could not be a well fitting person into our society when you would use all your gold. Maybe they feared you become high horse, or they feared you would have your head too high and you would become a target. You have a target on your back when you would use all your talents, all your gold at once. And they might have encouraged you to fit in and go by the usual norm. making more money, more money, more money, more money. And that was safe. They found that safe. And you might have found that safe. So most of you grew up, took jobs to fit in, make money, be looked at with adoration and admiration. But now you're here finding yourself in a place where you kind of remember that there was something more, where you are tired of struggling, slaving for something that doesn't really mean something to you, or someone who really doesn't mean anything to you. And then there's this inkling. I was given a gift so long ago, and I never really did anything with it. You kind of remember this. But now you wonder what it was and where it is. And that's where I come in to rediscover with you your meaningful talent and gifts. Now open your eyes and let's go check out what's real, what's working, and what doesn't work. And let me show you along the line the steps you need to do to shift your career from just feeling power through money to power with true purpose and fulfillment, and even creating a legacy. Now let's check. Does it sound like you? Do you sometimes sit in yet another meaningless meeting and feel your life force literally draining from your body as you calculate how many hours of your one precious life are wasted? Do you ever think about all of your experience and qualifications that got you to this point and feel like a fraud because while it shows success on paper, it doesn't really reflect who you really are or what you truly care about? Does this success feels hollow somehow? Do you ever lie awake at night wondering, is this really all there is? This endless cycles of working to pay bills only to need more money to numb the emptiness of your work that means really nothing to you? Does a part of you feel torn between the comfort of your paycheck and the aching desire to pursue your true and authentic calling? And do you ever feel like a shadow of your once vibrant self with an artificial grin on your face, longing for meaning but too afraid to leap? Do you fear that you will regret missing out on a life you could have lived if you do not make some sort of change now? And most of all, are you secretly tired that you might stay stuck in this soul sucking career forever? And that the unique gifts and talents that truly light you up will never see the light of day because you're too afraid or too comfortable to make a change? That you look back on your life at retirement age and realize that you live in someone else's agenda? If you think that's the real problem, it's not. The real problem is that you haven't made the shifts. And we'll talk about those in a minute. But for now, just know this. Once you make them, you'll cultivate a career that fills you with joy and clarity. You get to work not just for the paycheck, but because you finally have powerful mission that fuels you and makes you genuinely excited to wake up each day. You'll notice people responding differently to you, drawn to your newfound clarity and purpose, opening doors you never even knew existed. You'll experience the profound satisfaction of ending each day knowing you have contributed something meaningful, rather than just checking boxes on somebody else's priority list. You'd sleep soundly at night, free from the anxieties and restlessness that comes from living a life misaligned with your true authentic self. And you do all this while maintaining your financial security and while building a legacy that genuinely represents who you are. Now, let me introduce myself so that you know whom you're dealing with. I'm Claudia Granger. I'm a transformation coach, life coach, and I've been doing this for over 40 plus years. However, I'm also a psychic medium. And a lot of my insights come from operation as a psychic medium. Now you might say, ooh, I don't want to have to do anything with that woo woo shoo shoo stuff. If anyone ever would find out I'm working with someone like this, oh no, that's a no no. But let me tell you that these psychic and medium gifts, those are the ones who let me see in the darkness like an owl. Those are the ones who let me see what's scored to other people's viewpoint, what other people can't see, but what I can see. That's what gives me the X ray vision to see through the patterns with additional insight. And that's what made me so successful over the years. Read my hundreds of reviews for the different things I did. Look at the video reviews for the people whose careers I changed. And these people who you see in the videos or read the reviews, 5-star reviews over and over, those are the people I made shifts for. Those are the people who got the outcomes they want. And today I'm going to show you exactly how I did it with them and how they did it. I've spent years working with these high-powered professionals to transform the relationship with work because I realize we're spending 90,000 hours of our lives at work. Wouldn't that be wasted 90,000 hours in life if it wouldn't be lived with fulfillment and joy and purpose? What a waste for something hollow like money. Yes, money can make life comfortable to a certain extent, but it is in the end like a money desert. However, I realize that people are now waking up to that there's more, that one is allowed to have more, that one is allowed to live a joyful, purposeful life. And so, as I counsel people from all walks of life, I realized who were the successful ones and who were the ones with resistance. And I realized that the ones who made the shifts I gave them, they were so much better for it. They shifted step by step, and I could find 5 cornerstones. And I will tell you those cornerstones I found. They were the ones who made it for my clients. Meanwhile, I saw hundreds of others who remained trapped in their golden handcuffs, slowly watching their life force drain and fade away, bleeding out. They continued to sacrifice their best years for a paycheck or stock options, which could never compensate for their misery. And so over time, I became more persistent and created this program. And I could see consistent results with my clients. To have meaningful work, maintain financial security without having to completely start over. And I realized that these 5 shifts are so essential that I integrated them into every work I do with career professionals these days. We have no life, no time to waste. I'm going to walk you through those 5 essential shifts right here on this presentation. So, the first shift you need to make to transform your relationship with work is the authenticity effect. That leads you to golden opportunities and freeing yourself from the golden handcuff mentality. Only when you're authentic will you stand in your full authority. Can you connect with what is truly meaningful to you and align with people and circumstances that allow you to live your authentic purpose? Authenticity paired up with possibility thinking is the foundation stone of an incredible professional transformation. If you're trapped in the paycheck to passion mindset, you're setting yourself up for a lifetime of resentment and compromise. If you follow your authentic self, however, you will slowly take your power back from the illusion and start seeing options. You take true ownership of your life and career. And here's why. Most professionals have accepted a toxic trade off. They hate significant aspects of their work, the politics, the meaningless tasks, the Sunday night dread. However, they remain trapped because they love the stability, status, and lifestyle their salary seemingly offers. This golden handcuffs mentality creates a false binary. Either sacrifice fulfillment for financial security or risk everything for meaning. That can't be it. But this is a dangerous illusion that keeps talented professionals stuck in soul crushing careers for far longer than even is necessary. Now, the problem is that the way most professionals think about their career options is hopelessly broken. Most of the time, professionals see only two paths: stay miserable but comfortable, or leap into the unknown and potentially struggle. They believe these are the only two options, so they resign themselves to the devil they know, growing increasingly bitter as they watch their precious life and years slip away. Hand on heart, are you one of those? Be honest with yourself. Most of those tell themselves this is just work. That's how it is. I should be grateful for this job. All while feeling the life force truly draining from their body, bleeding away in meeting after meaningless meeting. When you do these things this way, you create a prison of your own making. You become the architect of your own dissatisfaction. No blame shame gaming here, but you do it to yourself if you continue. You will build ever stronger walls of reasons why not to change something in your life and your career until the possibility of meaningful work seems completely unreachable. Meanwhile, the daily grind of work doesn't align with you, truly creating a slow burning resentment that eventually touches every aspect of your life. It spills over. The right way to approach your career transformation is to reject that false paycheck or passion mindset altogether. The most successful professionals don't choose between financial security and meaningful work. They strategically redesign their relationship with work to incorporate both. Have you not ever heard the saying, rich people don't choose? Poor people do have to choose. Rich people don't. Be one of those truly, authentically rich people by realizing that you do not have to choose. And this is where the authenticity effect comes in. This isn't about quitting your job tomorrow. It's about aligning your reality with your authentic self by expanding your vision of what's possible within and beyond your current role. It's about recognizing that your talents, experience, and professional capital can be leveraged in countless ways that maintain or even enhance your financial security while creating space for genuine fulfillment. And you do this in a way that feels true and authentic to you. When you do this, you'll stop feeling trapped by your paycheck or stock options or whatever might hold you back and start seeing the abundance of possibilities available to you, which includes having and maintaining your money and status and all that. You'll experience the profound relief of knowing you're not condemned to decades of Sunday night dread to maintain your lifestyle. The bottom line is in your career transformation, reviewing what is authentically you, your power, and your possibility thinking is everything. Without it, you'll remain trapped in the false choices between your paycheck and your passion, convincing yourself that meaningful work is a luxury you can't afford and eventually face the devastating realization that you've traded your one precious life for a salary that could never compensate for your misery. But with an authentic review of your powers and what authentically matters to you, you pair up with your possibility thinking. You discover that financial security and meaningful work are mutually exclusive, and your unique talents can create value in ways that align with who you truly are. And that's the goal. You understand that breaking free from the golden handcuffs mentality opens opportunities you couldn't previously. This newfound gold within your career opens new doors. And that brings me to the second shift, which is the power audit, to recognize your powers that are hidden in plain sight. This hidden gold I was talking about earlier. Your most valuable professional talents are not what you think they are. Their ability you've been taking for granted, the things that come to you so naturally, you assume everyone can do them, which is not true. They're actually your unique superpowers that organizations desperately need. True gold versus false gold. Gold covered lead metal versus true authentic gold. That's what we're talking about here. Most professionals have this completely backward. They exhaust themselves trying to improve in areas where they're naturally weak, bending over backwards into a role which doesn't really fit, while completely overlooking the exceptional talents that could form the foundation of deeply meaningful work. And that creates true and not false fool's gold. This blind spot keeps you trapped in roles that drain your energy rather than amplifying your natural genius. And here is how to do this power audit. Instead of focusing exclusively on what you've been trained to do to fit into something which is not authentically you, by conducting a comprehensive power audit that uncovers these specific patterns and talents that energize you rather than exhaust you, that changes everything. That divides the true gold from the false fool's gold. Because once you recognize your unique powers, you can strategically position yourself to use these talents more frequently, creating both greater impact and deeper satisfaction. Your value to any organization skyrockets when you're operating from your zone of genius rather than merely competence. And the gold bars. If you have true gold bars, would you just give them away to anyone, not caring about it? Or wouldn't you make sure that the bank you entrust your gold valuable bars to are the ones who can deal with your gold in a good way, pay your dividend, not robbing you, saving your dividend away for their own purpose, working with your gold but you don't get nothing? Wouldn't you rather be wooed by the bank to say, can do this with your gold, we give you that in return? Shouldn't there be a good giving and receiving being in balance? And when giving and receiving is in balance, there is no drain because there's a balance. Drain only happens when there's a significant imbalance. Note that. This is my client Adriana. Because I'm only taking samples of true, authentic clients here, and you can see her video review on my website, that's why I used her as a sample. When she came to me, she felt suffocated by her job. Her dream was to wake up feeling excited about her work rather than being filled with dread, and to create a meaningful impact at her workspace. She had wasted years trying traditional career advice and had gotten nowhere and thought about more job hopping. Traditional career advice because, as you know, I'm a psychic medium, also life coach and transformation, doing this shift work now for high powered professionals. Why all the old methods don't work, that's what I'm going to show you in the next steps. So I advised her to redefine her success in terms of personal fulfillment through courageous authenticity, while also conducting a powers audit to uncover her natural talents that have been hiding in plain sight. She thought this was crazy, but was willing to give it a shot. She took the opportunity and she won. Yes, we celebrate every win. Almost immediately, Adriana experienced newfound clarity and motivation. Today, she leads a section of a nonprofit organization, and her passion for psychology and combined with her willingness to explore patterns, understand them, and shift and make such a true impact in her life. She transformed not only her life, but also the lives of her colleagues and her boss's life significantly. So here's the bottom line: your talents are your true gold. If you want to transform your soul crushing career, you need to understand that your most valuable professional talents are the ones you're taking for granted. And this is what trapped professionals usually don't understand. If you just grasp this one idea, you'll stop exhausting yourself trying to be someone you are not. You'll discover a wellspring of energy when you work from your zone of genius. You create exponentially more value for any organization. They should woo you. You shouldn't back over backwards to fit into a cramped position. And you feel that profound relief of finally being seen for who you authentically are and for your authentic contributions too. And that brings me to the next shift: the aligned power with purpose system. And that's my secret weapon. It's the most empowering way to identify what creates genuine fulfillment for you. Discover how to align your work with your authentic values and create deep satisfaction in your professional life, in the whole life, while maintaining financial security and honoring your existing professional capital. And it works even if you've been feeling lost for decades and even if you have no idea what your purpose is. But before we talk about what works, let me talk about what doesn't work. Because there are things you're considering right now which haven't worked and can't work. And I want to let you know right now that if you have tried any of this stuff and got nowhere, it's not your fault. Conventional wisdom is a recipe for conventional results. Everyone's telling you that if you want to find meaningful work, you need to do more job hopping, follow your passion, get another degree or certification, make a dramatic career change, sacrifice your financial security, take a sabbatical to find yourself, or start your own business, work for a nonprofit, and attend endless networking events, and you'll find fulfillment. These are just band aids for a real problem. And here is why this is dumb. Getting more credentials assumes your dissatisfaction stems from a knowledge gap rather than a meaning gap. You end up more qualified for work you still don't want to do, and that's dumb. Following your passion ignores the reality that meaning comes from contribution, not just enjoyment. Turning your hobby into your job often kills the joy while creating financial stress. That's dumb too. Making dramatic career changes wastes all your hard earned professional capital and relationships. Starting over from scratch is unnecessary, disruptive, and risky, and I believe it's a bad idea. These approaches all assume that meaning exists only in specific industries or roles, completely ignoring that fulfillment comes from how you contribute your unique talents, not just what field you're working in. And does it make sense to go up and down the ladder? Imagine spending years climbing a ladder only to discover it's leading against the wrong wall. Imagine spending years doing this again and again, getting new credentials, switching companies, changing industries. All while the real source of fulfillment has nothing to do with the ladder or the wall, but with how you uniquely climb and what you uniquely see from your top vantage point. So, if that doesn't work, then what does? You don't need to follow your passion or sacrifice financial security with the new way, the alchemized career way, the aligned power with purpose system way. You will be guided from a seemingly powerless employee to a powerful co creator in your career and life. All you need is a systemic approach to align your authentic talents with work that matters to you. And it works like this: identify your authentic powers in the Power Audit, create your meaning matrix, develop your professional purpose statement, implement your success transfer plan. This approach works because it focuses on alignment rather than dramatic change, leverages your existing professional capital rather than wasting it, and recognizes that meaning is created through your unique contribution pattern, not just the field you're working in. So, what we're doing first, through the comprehensive power audit, you identify when you felt the most effective and energized. This allows you to recognize your unique talents that create exceptional value without exhausting you. Then we create your personal meaning matrix to decode exactly what creates fulfillment for you specifically. This allows you to make decisions with complete clarity about what truly matters to you. Next, we develop your professional purpose statement that defines your professional identity by contribution rather than by role or industry. That leads us to create a magnetic clarity that attracts aligned opportunities. And that's really interesting. Finally, we'll be able to implement your success transfer plan. That enables us to strategically leverage your existing achievements and relationships while pivoting towards more work aligned with your authentic purpose. Does this make sense? Do you see why the Alchemized career plan, aligned power to purpose system, is the best? Why it is so much better than following your passion, job hopping, or getting another degree? As you have seen, I'm using authentic clients as samples here for you to understand how we work and what's happening. And even though this is an AI created image of my client James, that represents his smile, his authentic smile he goes through life with every day. Now, James came to me when he felt at the end of his rope. He had spent thousands on coaches and psychology sessions. He felt the void and was isolated in his high powered independent contractor role. He had spent years trying to succeed and find satisfaction in his role. I encouraged him to examine the root cause of his dissatisfaction and conduct a power audit first. Through these career oriented reflections, things became really clear for him. I showed him the meaning matrix system too. And then we aligned things even further. And this is a point I haven't mentioned yet, but paired up with his new I am mindset, he was unbeatable. James discovered that his deepest fulfillment came from mentoring and developing others, something he had done informally for years but never considered central to his professional identity. Today, he's transitioned from technical management to leading talent development initiatives within his same client companies. So he didn't have to make this huge change. It was alignment. And that's earning him more recognition than he ever thought possible in the process. His anxiety lifted, his family and friends noticed that he's present and energized, and he's built a reputation for himself as a transformatory leader. The bottom line: following your passion, making dramatic career changes, and accumulating more credentials are among the worst things you can do to find meaningful work. They overlook your unique contribution pattern and waste your professional capital. The meaning matrix is the only way to discover what creates genuine fulfillment for you specifically, align your work with your authentic values, and transform your relationship with work without quitting your job, sacrificing financial security, or starting from scratch. We also want to create lasting legacy, don't we? Because if we achieve meaningful work without creating legacy, we are missing the opportunity to extend our impact beyond our immediate circle. That brings me to the next shift, which is creating legacy of impact with joy. What truly matters and what we really want is to leave a lasting legacy that extends our impact beyond our immediate reach. That's why things like job hopping and following passion interests, which are oftentimes fleeting, don't work in the long run because they also don't allow you to build something enduring. And when we focus on joy, we open up ourselves to deeper satisfaction in our careers and lives, while also adding magnetism. And with magnetism, you naturally attract what's good for you. Let's talk about how to create that now. Here's another authentic client, Jane. When Jane came to me, she was obsessed with finding meaningful work. That was priority one. So we fixed that right away. She didn't even feel joy anymore. So entrenched was she in her daily grind and feeling that she never was enough. It was never enough. The money wasn't enough. Her life quality wasn't enough. And she felt she wasn't enough further. She started filling her inner void with shopping to uplift her spirits and was almost to the point of addiction. That was not very becoming to her bank account and definitely not to her life. Not only did we help her discover what brought her joy, true joy, but I also helped her incorporate that joy into her work, ultimately saving her bank account from financial ruin. But she also wanted to create a lasting legacy. So here's what we did. I helped Jane see that her professional purpose statement could extend beyond her day to day role and into a broader vision for impact. Unlike job hopping, which starts the legacy building process over each time, or focusing solely on personal fulfillment, which can be self limited, the alchemized career aligned power with purpose system naturally extends into legacy building as you clarify how your unique contribution pattern can solve problems that matter to you on an increasingly larger scale. Today, Jane's life looks like this. She's found deep fulfillment in her role as a strategic advisor, where she leverages her natural system thinking abilities daily. She also created a mentorship initiative with her industry that now being adopted by other organizations, extending her impact far beyond her immediate role. And Jane is doing all of this without working long hours, without sacrificing time with her family, and without having to explain a dramatic career change to a professional network. Without creating a legacy, meaningful work doesn't reach its full potential. If you don't have both, at some point you might feel like your impact is too limited to truly matter long term. But when you have both, you wake up every day knowing that your work really means something and extends beyond yourself. You see, the ripple effect of your contribution spreads to people you'll never even meet. And you experience the profound satisfaction of knowing your unique talents will contribute, making a true, authentic difference long after you're gone in people's lives. And by the way, I didn't name the true name of Jane because she will be really making such an impact that she will be seen as a revolutionary. Her processing is not over. Her working with me is not over. And she has already changed so much in her environment. She's already creating legacy, but believe me, she's far from done. It's keeping on rolling, it's keeping on transforming, it's keeping on giving. This process will keep on giving. But to have all that and to make all of the above possible, it will only be possible if and only if you invest in mentoring. And that's cornerstone and shift number 5. Everyone who wants to transform their relationship with work should have a mentor. A great mentor, as you well know, brings two things to the table: strategy and accountability. And I hope you realize what most people are doing, stuff like following the passion and making dramatic career changes, is the wrong way to go if you want to find meaning in your work without sacrificing your financial security. So here's the harsh truth: most people never escape their soul crushing career. They would rather spend their life putting band aids on what ails them, whatever that is in the moment. They might try, but they get overwhelmed by options, perhaps paralyzed by fear of making the wrong move, distracted by quick fix solutions that in the end don't lead anywhere. But great mentoring prevents that. If you want to maximize your chances of transforming your career and your life in less than 60 days and going from just power to power with purpose, you need strategy and accountability only a mentor can bring. And that's why Jane is still moving along to higher grounds, one step at a time. Higher and higher she climbs with purpose and financial security. She didn't give up on anything. So now you have a choice. You can keep on dragging yourself through each workday. That's your right. Feeding the life force drained from your body in meaningless meetings, literally bleeding your energy away. Working for someone else's agenda is your right. Eventually retire with profound regret about a life not authentically lived and a contribution you never made. It's your right. You can try to silence your discontent with a bigger title or salary. That's your right. Keeping struggling with the growing emptiness no amount of external validation can fill. And then waking up one day realizing you have sacrificed your one precious life for someone else's priorities. That's your choice. That's your right. You have the right to make that choice. Or you can be done with all that and belong to the 15% who step up to their professional life with power and purpose combined. And that's your birthright. That's your true birthright. Discovering your authentic purpose, transforming your relationship with work, aligning your career with something that fuels and energizes you, and creating a legacy of meaningful impact in less than 60 days. That's your birthright. That's your true gold versus the false gold, the fool's gold, without sacrificing your financial security. Now let that sink in. Nobody asked you to give anything up, but you gain something. Here's what I have for you when you're interested. I've set aside some time in this next 48 hours to do a free Power with Purpose career audit. I want you to figure out if it's possible for you to discover your authentic professional purpose and the fastest and best way to get there. Whatever your most significant career challenges are, I've seen them, heard about them, and we have overcome it. So book your call using the calendar below. We'll jump on a Zoom call for about 40 minutes and we're going to solve as many problems in your professional life as we can. I'll show you how to stop feeling that Sunday night dread, that poisons your entire weekend. Exactly how to identify your unique powers that create exceptional value. Pinpoint where you're feeling disconnected from your work despite your success, and identify exactly how you can transform your career in 60 days starting today. We'll research together the exact problem that's stopping you from finding meaningful work and show you the steps to solve it once and for all. The cost? Absolutely free. However, there is a but. You must be a successful professional feeling trapped in your current role and yearning, truly yearning to express your untapped potential. You must be serious about creating meaningful work and willing to invest what it takes to get there. If that's you, use the form under this video and book your Power with Purpose career audit now. The last thought I would like to leave with you today is that it's truly possible to do this. Imagine yourself in about 2 to 3 months. Where would you be? With a soul aligned career fully with purpose and joy and utilizing your true gifts. So amazing. And creating a legacy. So don't procrastinate. Don't hesitate. Let's talk. See you soon. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm Claudia Granger for you. See you soon.